Yeah. When we speak in general bullet points, everybody gets a vague, glassy-eyed look. But anybody been in a situation where, like, the web designer promised me it would be done by the end of the month? What? He lied to me? Like, everybody's had those situations with the web, What my boss said, I definitely wasn't lying to get that business. That what? I believed him.
Okay, so very specific. Got it.
Yeah, we all think we know and lie. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Oh my God. I can't believe, and how many women have ended up, just with their heart broken but he said he loved me.
He said he'd never leave me. He promised.
He left me. Now he's emptied my bank account, and he slept with my sister. What?
He had his affairs in order.
Yeah, I don't know. When he said he had his affairs in orders, I didn't think that it was with my sister. Anyway, that then gets a reaction from people.
Okay,
It's
copy that.
Comedy, it's always everything. It's all about the details, right? All about the details.
Micro. Okay.
Yeah, so start with the problem and the consequence. Well, we think, I know when someone, and get as many act outs in here.
Okay.
You're getting too academic.
Yeah, I have an old history of a technical writer that it's hard to shake sometimes.
Just get up and really say it. Like, how, like, you're talking to a girlfriend. And you got to use words that, if you're for women, that we women use. How come I was just talking to a friend whose husband all of a sudden wants a divorce, and for the past 5 months he's been fell in love with somebody else. She's like blindsided. And that's another good word. We get blindsided. Our lives get derailed because our life gets derailed, whether it's a personal life or our professional life, because we don't pick up the cues that people are lying to us.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, that's good.
I know. I was just thinking my friend who was just so blindsided by, her husband, and she's devastated.
Oh, the wife is usually the last one to know, and it's collusion, not necessarily on purpose, but they're too close, so they have their blinders on and can't see it. But everybody else knows it.
I also think a lot of pot smoking has a lot to do with it. If you're drinking and smoking pot and what have you, you really can't see it. But anyway, great. So I really want to know the pain and the consequences. I don't want to hear they're less productive. That means nothing. Confident, trusting. I don't want to be harsh with you at all. They're more stressed, but words like that are flat.
Okay.
But so we all know somebody who goes, how come I didn't see it coming? Right? We all have friends or ourselves, and and your life is you're blindsided. All of a sudden, how many women have had the rug pulled out from under their, in small ways, like we couldn't launch our website or this because they promised.
Do you think I'm kind of having a hard time balancing professional and personal? Can I do both in here, or should
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, because the tips and techniques are going to apply the same wherever you put them, in business or in personal life, but
100%.
Okay.
100%. It's a tech. There's not like, well, I'm in my business personality, now I'm in my private person. We're all the same person.
Like when I give examples, I should do both.
Well, let me get to that. So I just want to know, at the very beginning, a lot of act outs, a lot of disaster, because we all have been affected by this, and we all know every single person. Like Leanne, don't you know someone?
I was actually in a relationship for 4 years with a guy who was like that. And for me, the biggest struggle was the shame and embarrassment. It made me question my intelligence.
Oh,
And
that's
so
good.
those are the kind of things that you really want to hit on is, it leaves them questioning who they are and their own self-confidence and self-worth.
Oh, Lori, please put that in. That's so
I'm
excellent,
taking
Leanne.
notes.
Yeah, and you can have, the audio or video of this. I think I'm recording it.
And for what it's worth, it's not just women that get blindsided. I know two men that got blindsided where their wife walked out the door with their bank accounts on the way out.
Oh yeah. One of my friends, she got divorced and she found out because she had bought the home that they were in, and her husband taken out a loan against the house and lost and spent all of it. So she's now living. She went from a huge, beautiful Santa Monica home to living above a restaurant.
Oh,
And she has 3 kids.
yeah.
I mean, it's nasty out there. So, and John, what John says is right. It's not necessarily just for women, But I really loved Leanne's thing is one of the consequences is it leaves you doubting yourself and it undermines your confidence. It's like, I should have known. It was so obvious. Am I an idiot myself? How can I ever love again? How can I ever enter a business partnership again? And we make, we just start doubting our own perceptions. It's really creates a kind of insanity.
Well, and my heart story in this is pretty poignant because I was duped. I lost $250,000 to a friend. So,
Wow.
so I mean, I've got the professional training, but I also have the heart story that it's like, yeah, I get it. How
Lori, this is so
intelligent.
good. This is so good, right? And it's not like when someone pitches here that everybody on the call just goes, "Yep, happened to me." You know what I mean? And we're all related, and we all would love to have these techniques. So okay. So the problem definitely is every single word is. When I say a story, it just means like a sentence or two, with an act out. But the problem is usually always expressed in act outs.
Okay, but do you, and I start to overanalyze this. Is the problem that they think they're good at and they're not? Or is the problem all of the stuff we just talked about, like what Leanne said, the self-worth?
Problems are consequences of being lied to. So the consequences are undermining your own.
Okay. So the problem is not.
Ability. The problem is that you're left in financial ruin, emotional ruin. But they're not just words that use emotional ruin. You paint the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to picture something to really connect. And the way to get someone to picture it is to act it out and put it in, a succession of short, tiny little scenes.
Okay, and then just one other thing I need to be clear on. I'm calling this the pitch. Is this the pitch that I'm doing in written form, or is this how I'm starting the presentation?
This is not. I don't know how you're starting the presentation.
Okay,
But this is like I had to do a pitch yesterday on the phone, and I do it on my feet, where they had so much. It's a healthcare convention, and I said, well, what happens before me? Well, we have a lot of people talking on this and that, and I go, okay. So I go, well, so what are you going to be talking about? Well, how people go to a conference and they have, they listen to content, and the mind can only take in so much content until they get that class over look. They become totally numb, and they're not enjoying themselves, right? Because you always have to have some humor, you know, among the content to really liven it up, make people come back next year and make it fun, you know, so whatever, you know, you just gotta, it's a pitch.
Okay, that's what I thought, but then I started doubting myself. Like, okay, now is this, I was getting the terms mixed up. What's what? So what I'm doing now is I'm using this to get hired, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is your and from that you can write your speech, but the speech is a different formula.
Okay, I'm on track.
But
then.
the problem, but yes, 100%, you will start
fucking killers. We're gonna fucking end you.
Whoa.
What?
Mute.
That wasn't me.
All right, John, just hold it down. So what we want to know then is to start with, you know, always start with the problem. Anyway,
Okay,
so whether it's the pitch or whether it's your speech.
got it. I feel a little bit more better on track.
Okay. Okie doke. All right, so help is on the way. I speak and train on how to tell if someone is lying. And I give you a group the tools they need to assess credible statements versus deception.
I don't think assess is the right word.
Yeah, assess is not very sexy. You know, I would ask it as a question. What if you had the superpower to know if people were lying? How would that, you know, knowing that can transform your life, right? I think transformation is a really great word when we're talking about motivational speaking. It's transformation, right?
Okay.
So that's the end of the problem would be like, it, you know, how transforming would it be if you could actually have the superpower to be a human lie detector and know if somebody is lying. Know that when someone says, I promise I'm going to have this done by the end of the month, they're lying. Oh, I love you and nobody else. They're lying. You know, yes, this is a guaranteed investment. You will get back 10% of your money. They're lying, right? You know, so we want to get specific. Well, I can show you that as I'm the author, Drive-Through Describes Boosted Tech Deceit. Impressed yet? Well, I'm a certified in technique, motion on the bed. This is awesome. Additionally, as a world-class we developed and deception methods from written and verbal statements. Okay, so the problem is most people have not proper training. We've already talked about the problem. We've already, you know, talked about really.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great, but this is the problem. This is all problems. So this is all moved up. Fake
Okay.
news isn't just being intermediate, you know, it's in the boardroom, from the bedroom to the boardroom. There's a lot of
bedroom to boardroom.
Hey, you like that? That's why I'm getting paid the big
That's
bucks
the
here.
money shot, baby.
From the bedroom to the boardroom. Oh, great. And that solves your problem of, is this personal or professional?
Yes.
Right.
That's good.
I love that you're delighted. Okay. Okay. I train myself okay. So the results. Results need to be, so the results will be, this is a little methodology. It's a little, just try to, just put in bullets here. Learn words and phrases that indicate deception, right? Learn which words and phrases indicate deception. That's a result. Some have tend to learn in the future. Increase your IQ from or higher, right? I mean, that's good. But make this like just 4 bullets.
Got it.
I'm going to do this by delivering a laugh out loud keynote skills. I would take out, I find that saying you're a former stand-up comic, all of a sudden I feel your credibility go down.
Plus they're like, bring on the funny, Red. You're not funny if you say that, right? You're setting the expectation.
Well, it's just, and laugh out loud, I just go, with hilarious stories, right? Just don't say stand-up comedy experience, because all of a sudden I'm thinking I could get you cheaper.
Oh, no.
right. I don't feel we need it.
Okay.
With audience participation, my own rag to riches, I transformed it. I love that. End there. Yeah, and that's the ending. I love this. You're definitely going to work with this. Boy. Oh my God. Yeah, so the most important part that we don't have is right here, because think of this as, the takeaways. Takeaways. So when you think of takeaways,
And that's where I want my, what did you just tell John? Snappy phrases for the text.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snappy results. Okay, so just give me some takeaways that, I could just look at this and know what I'm going to get. Okay?
Okay.
That's great.
Well, good. I have plenty to work on then.
Yeah, I don't think I need to give this back because this is more of an audio thing to listen to.
Yeah, I'll pick up the recording again and transcribe what I just missed.
Yeah, okay. And Leanne, so first I'd like to welcome Dawn. Hi, Dawn. How are you doing?
Doing well, Judy. How are you?
Okay. Are you on a phone or something? Or
No, I fought for an entire hour for a $1 discrepancy between Amazon and American Express, and I lost. And so I didn't get a chance to set up my laptop with the camera. So you just get to hear me, not see me today.
Oh, okay. And then Li Ling, hi. I'll unmute you. Hold on a second.
Hi.
Hi there. All right. And you're joining us. And I think I have your questionnaire, and at the very end, you can ask some questions. This is where we just have a core group who are putting together pitches for their speeches, and a lot of the people here are going out and speaking and doing stuff. So I just hang in here in the end. I'll answer any questions you have. Okay? Yeah, no worries. All right. So and Dawn, I know I'm going to get together with you, right?
Yeah, on this, I think it's this Friday we had at whatever time I wrote down.
Oh, great.
2
Okay,
p.m., I believe.
so bring, send me whatever you want me to look at ahead of time. Okay.
I will definitely do that. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and then Leanne. All right, so Leanne, you sent me something, right?
I did.
Mm-hmm. I know where it is. Okay, hold on one second. That's John. We did John. I'll save that. And then, sorry to be talking to myself while I do this, but let's see. All right. Okay, share my desktop. And let's see. Where was that? Oh, in the introduction, right?
I guess I should have put my name attached to it.
No worries. I got it. All right. So, Dawn, can you see this?
Yes, I can.
All right. So would you mind reading it? And then,
Sure.
And so this is like you're introducing a speaker.
Oh, okay.
Because I know you're reading cold, but usually that's the story, so we can hear what it sounds like.
All right, I'll do I apologize if I mispronounce your name or anything, but it's introduction for Leanne Barton.
Yeah.
How many of you want to know how to conquer your obstacles and get moving forward with a dynamic vision and plan for the life you're meant to be living? Anybody? Well, our next speaker, Leanne Barton, can show you how to get that life. If you want to be empowered to get unstuck in the ruts created from challenges, want to discover how to heal wounds of the past and present, want to move forward with a plan for overcoming life's challenges and heartaches, then you'll want to listen to our next speaker. Leanne Barton, former teacher and health coach, went from childhood in the depths of dysfunction and poverty to busting her butt through school to be the first person in her family to not only graduate high school, but also earn a master's degree in teaching. Mrs. Barton, as she was known to her students, spent much of her teaching career helping 2 generations of at-risk youth overcome the challenges in their paths. Later, when the recession hit and she was laid off, she went on to own a baby boot camp franchise. This gave her the opportunity to help new moms to crush their health and fitness goals, but also be a guide and inspiration to women who are still managing the pain of pregnancy and infant loss. Recently, Leanne faced her greatest physical challenge as she learned to walk again after a massive spinal cord tumor put her in a wheelchair. So, get ready to transform your life, your health, your relationships, and your future. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking on From Survivin' to Alive and Thrivin', please welcome Leanne Barton.
Woo! Yeah, girl. That sounds, I want to hear that. Anybody else want to hear that? Anybody have any suggestions on this? Anyone?
The middle paragraph has a lot of really good information in it, but if I was listening to it, hearing it for the first time, I kind of got lost. So I don't know if it needs to be broken up or maybe just some words punched up a little bit, because I was like, okay, well then she's this and she's that and it just seemed like a lot all at once.
Okay, anybody else?
The Mrs. Barton, as she was known to her students, because you would be Mrs. Barton, right? I mean, do you need to have that in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I'm a little taken aback talking about new moms crush their fitness goals and then talk about pain of pregnancy and infant loss. I mean, are we talking about new moms with alive infants, or are we talking now loss of infants?
Believe it or not, you have new moms who suffer both. So I was trying to create that spectrum of, sometimes we're on the good side of life and sometimes we're not. And so I get it.
Let me ask you, when was the spinal cord tumor? What's the order of all of this?
So the spinal cord tumor I just had taken out last Thanksgiving, and I had this crazy idea when I came home from the rehab center, still learning to walk, that I would sign up for the Message of You course, thinking I'm going to return to some type of normalcy and go out in public speaking. And so that's very recent, actually.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you're a former teacher and health coach, right?
Yes.
All right. And here you're teaching health and everything to everybody when you're just slapped down and in a wheelchair, right? So your whole life got turned around, right? Just recently.
I mean, half marathons to being in a wheelchair in the matter of a couple of years. So it was very surprising and overwhelming. For the better part of my life, it's been about overcoming adversity. So I want to go out and speak truth into people's lives on how do you overcome these things that would normally take you out.
Right. So what before this spinal cord tumor, first of all, how are you now?
I am doing much better now. I can walk and I can stand for a short time, 20 minutes to a half hour.
Okay. And is it going to get better?
They don't know. Because
Wow.
the tumor was growing for 20 years and it took the doctors a long time to find it. It's such a rare thing of where it was and how long it was there that they don't know. But I still have 1 more year to get as much back as I possibly can. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And learn to walk. Wow. That's hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot of recovery. I still am in physical therapy. I'm still on medication.
Okay.
There's depression that goes along with it. There's redefining what your life is going to look like moving forward. It doesn't look the way you think it should. I'm 46, and it's almost like I have the body of a 80-year-old. So, yeah, big changes.
Holy schmoly. Well, first of all, I want to commend you for wanting to help others, given your situation.
Thank
That's going to be healing for a lot of other people, and I think also healing for yourself. I just really touches me that you're doing this, Leanne. Just wow. I really do believe there's kind of people in the world who shit happens to them and they complain a lot. And the people who shit happens and they go, I'm going to use this to inspire others and transform other people's lives.
Yeah.
And that makes you a real hero in my eyes.
Thank you.
Just wow. So I want the beginning to be a little stronger.
Okay.
Again, it's kind of like what I said to Lori. I want to have like at the beginning you say here, how many you want to conquer your obstacles? Like we don't say that. Well, today I want to conquer my obstacles. You know what I'm saying? Like what do people say?
I know that when I am in the depths of the crap storms of life, it really feels like I'm stuck.
I like that. Stuck is a great word.
And almost like you're suffocating under the weight of, I've experienced great loss, great trauma, and trying to find that balancing point between not being overly dramatic, but trying to pull the audience in.
Well, since we're recording this, let me just throw out a couple things.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what they'll sound like, but how many thought your life would be different from the way it is right now, right? How many of you pictured yourself thinner, richer, right? What else? Anybody picture yourself thinner, richer, healthier? Anybody pictured the person they married? Healthier, thinner, richer? Right? Like, I really think we need to start with some levity here, right?
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, so I thought that would be it. Like hit it all. Thinner, richer, right?
Richer.
How many of you have anybody ever thought your spouse or your partner be thinner, richer, healthier? Well, and let's see. So let's just see. The title of your talk is from, surviving from surviving. Okay. So let's get, how many of you feel stuck and would love, how many of you feel stuck and you don't know how to get out? Well, our next speaker can show you how to not just be surviving, but thriving. Right?
Right.
So I think that would set up better with just, a couple, so people laugh, right? And gets them excited, gets their attention.
Okay.
Empowered to get stuck in the ruts from the town. You want to discover how to heal the wounds of the past. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think maybe the next sentence could just be something about like we all get stuck, right? And name a couple things. Stuck uh, in a depression. I would mention that because a lot of people suffer from depression or have suffered from depression. It's very good to mention. Stuck in a depression, stuck with because of our health, a health surprise, or a financial surprise, something like that, right? Stuck. So do something about being stuck. Then go, well, Leanne Barton can show you how to get unstuck and be that person you're meant to be.
Okay.
I like that. And get unstuck and be that person you're meant to be. Because okay, I like that. Because she got herself unstuck. Because she got herself from growing up in poverty. Oh, shoot. Okay, can you guys hold it just, sorry, 1 second. The doorbell's ringing. I'm sorry. Just hold it just 1 second.
Thanks.
Anyway, I would just put like, before you go to getting yourself unstuck, say, she's a health coach, a teacher. She's worked with at-risk youth. I wouldn't make them all stories. Just rattle that off really quick. She's worked, she's helped out with youth. She even started her own baby boot camp franchise. Give it a name. Was there a name?
Yeah, I guess it did have a name.
Yeah, baby boot camp franchise, right?
Right.
And on a personal note, 1 year ago, after a massive brain cord tumor put her in a wheelchair, she learned to walk again.
Okay.
So get ready to transform your life, your health, your relationships, and your future. I love that. Okay, the last sentence, fantastic. I would just not make your credentials so much of stories, because you could talk about that. You tell those stories in your speech.
I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to get hung up by trying to be perfect. I just wanted to get it in there and get some feedback from you. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, it's terrific. It's really good, really impressive, and I would go speak right away at call up the VA and go to their spinal injury unit.
Okay.
And these are very young people who have just been told they'll never walk again. And they would love to hear your story and how you kept, and how, in spite of being depressed, that comes along with it. I mean, I did it, and I got to tell you, I got a great story out of it. And it's like, I felt like, oh, I really did good, and to volunteer to speak at these places is just a beautiful thing.
Okay.
So why don't you call up the VA hospital and go, I am I'd like to speak, and they just, they just push everybody in there, and they have a neat little event, and it's also really good for the nurses and the doctors too to hear a talk like that. It's really depressing there,
Yeah.
and they could use you, Leanne. Okay.
Okay.
Bring your blonde self over there and lighten up the room. Really. And you could do the speech sitting down. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then you can, and I think it's very powerful to go like for you to then stand up, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be very powerful. It's a big visual because they need to visualize that themselves,
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Spinal injury. A lot of places you can perform. Look it up on the internet, and how many places you going to call this week?
I'm just getting started writing my speech, so
No.
if I
Call
aim
2
for
places.
5, is that too low?
2
High?
2 places. Call at least 2 places this week.
2? Okay.
All right. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Where do you live?
Michigan.
Okay. So what I want you to do is, while I'm going to work with somebody else, I'm going to come back to you. I want you some internet searches
Okay.
and see who you can call. Okay.
Okay.
But I think all VA hospitals have a spinal injury unit.
Okay.
Okay. So
Thank
just
you.
start looking up. Okay. We'll come back to you. All right. Anybody have anything else you want to say to Leanne or anything?
I think there's a good line in there somewhere, and I don't know how to phrase it yet, but if you wordsmith from a half marathon to a wheelchair, or I don't know, it's quite the contrast. I think that would really grab people.
Well, yeah, that's very striking. It just to me says the exercise isn't worth it. I knew it.
That's not where the tumor came from, but yeah.
I knew exercise was good for you. I think that's a great idea, but I don't think it goes in the introduction.
No.
I think it goes in her speech
It
because it is dramatic. Yeah. Ooh, sorry. Okie doke. So, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, real quick. Leanne, where in Michigan are you? I'm in Michigan too.
I'm in Northwest Michigan, up by Cadillac.
Oh, okay. I'm near Grand Rapids. We'll have to connect.
Oh yes, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they near each other?
About an hour and a half away.
Oh, that's not too bad,
I
right?
live here.
Right?
Michigan is such a weird place, isn't it?
Hey. Yeah, it's 2 different states. You've got conservatives on the west side and liberals on the east side.
Yeah, it's like the Oopers and the upper, what is it?
Youpers.
Youper.
And then,
the
you
trolls.
guys, hold on 1 second. Yeah, Anna, what is it?
The trolls live
second.
under the bridge, and the
Yep.
Youpers live above the bridge. Well, thanks for your feedback. I'm trying to figure out how to get here.
And Lori, can you send me your email? I'd like to connect with you.
I will. I'll send it to you in chat.
Give me 10 more minutes.
All right.
10 minutes. We'll take care of it. Okay. Hello. Sorry. Okay, Dawn, are we going to just work on your thing when I see you?
Yeah, I didn't want to hog time, so I thought that I would just send from the feedback you gave me last time and just kind of wordsmith it a little bit and give another try for the message of you. And if I get really ambitious, maybe the introduction, like to one of my talks.
That would be awesome.
And
Okay, and then Leanne.
Yes.
Not Leanne, Li Ling. Sorry. Hi, Li Ling. I'm gonna
Hey,
unmute
hi,
you.
can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear
Hi.
you just fine. And so I have something that you did here. Just see what I did with it. Just hold it 1 second. Here it is. You filled out a little questionnaire, and I'm just going to do this here. So, so your credentials here, you did your TED Talk on perseverance, right? And your background is and you want to do corporate speaking. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, yes, and associations.
And associations. What is your
Yes.
day job?
My day job, I do career coaching for international students. So I basically help Chinese international students who have the hard skills learn to develop communication skills. And then I review their resume and cover letter and teach them how to interview and negotiate their salary. Also work at a golf course part-time and have rental property. So like a lot of stuff. So let me pull over because I'm like listening and driving. But yeah, really appreciate this call. Yeah, but that's my day job.
Okay, well, this is the thing. You're hooked up with the Chinese community,
Yes.
like expats, or what is it? It's like, and you help people interview for jobs?
Because I'm trying to transition into like helping conferences, more like a humorous conference, help people learn how to deal with tragedy. Because I'm thinking my talk should probably like, because I went through divorce and then my mom's death, so I feel like my would be like how to survive death, divorce, and being walked out by all the Orange County comics, because I basically pissed them off and like all of them walked out like a week ago, and then like Dad fan said I was funny the next day. So I want to do something on like.
Okay, let me just give you some advice here. Okay. My advice is that you shouldn't do the credentials that you list don't qualify you for the conferences. What you need to do is to start speaking in the colleges of how to interview, and it Chinese events about how to maybe use American humor or things like that. You need to go where you already have a job and then be funny doing it, but not like the other things, that how to deal with tragedy and all of that can still be in your speech, but you need to frame it about like, well, how do you do a job interview when your mom just died or something happens or tragedy hits? You still put your stories on perseverance. But it needs to be wrapped around a topic that you've already gotten paid to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, I've had a lot of people who are involved in a certain ethnicity, such as they're Indians, Indian, you know, they're from India or Indian heritage or Chinese heritage. And believe me, they work like crazy.
Yeah, they do.
So you start with your audience that's already hired you. Okay,
that's great.
All right, you guys. I think we're gonna cut it off early today, but great seeing you all. And anybody have any questions before we leave?
Yeah, Judy, I have a question. I started out my pitch letter with a question. I thought that's the format, and then you changed that. Is there a reason for that?
Yes, because if I'm a Rotary Club and someone says, hey, have you thought of, I mean, I need to know what it's about. I need to know the context of it. So if I'm already pitching, you know, something, of course I can start with a question. They know that I'm trying to pitch it, my keynote, but in a cold email, you got to talk about, you know, like this is going to be a keynote that's really going to be great for the Rotary Club. I've been in my club for 12 years. It's been a big hit. Talk about, and your lead thing is about relationships. So if I got that about, you know, how do you know, it wouldn't be quite right for the Rotary, because the Rotary is looking for more business stuff.
Not really. You know, they're really into relationships as well.
We'll do that too, but I have to know it's a keynote. Otherwise I'm going like, is this something from Tinder? I don't know what it is.
All right.
All right, you guys. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go off, and stop